just how airworthy are our planes. For 7 years, Tom French and Angus Trumbie worked 6, sometimes 7 days a week assembling major domestic airliners.
Well, there was no real quality control to speak of at all.
There was none.
None, yeah.
There was none.
We once put out a bus instead of a plane.
Had no wings, had no cockpit, no ailerons.
Had seats and a conductor.
It was a bus.
No one said anything.
And they accepted it.
No.
Well, see, with the lack of quality control, I mean, we do things like forget to put the use-by sticker on. Well, that can have... Well, the only way you can tell a plane is good or bad is the smell, because they go off.
Yeah, you got to... It's the sniffer test, we call it.
Yeah.
And they go off. If it smells like a Lamington, you know it's okay. The Lamington, you know, chocolate and, you know, coconutty smell.
You get a jam donut smell and...
You're finished.
You're in trouble, because...
Well, you know that somewhere on that plane is going to be a big hole, and it's
huge.
You just get so bored. I don't know. We put a red light on the inside of the cockpit once. It flashed for no reason.
No apparent
reason whatsoever.
Then we put wings out. Oh, we put seats out on the wings.
That's right. Yeah, wings on the inside of the plane.
Big hoot.
You put wings on the inside of the plane.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Reduced the headroom, but apart from that, no one said anything.
Didn't cause much of a flap at all.
Yeah.
In such a climate of incompetence, it's little wonder then that pilots suffer badly from stress. Charlie Wellham is one such. He flew nearly 2,000 domestic flights before it all became too much.
Well, the things you're expected to do are ridiculous. I mean, I can't believe how many times I had to fly one of those things with the wings on the inside. Yeah. And the ones without wheels, they're a pain too. And the ones without brakes, I mean, talk about the Ayatollah.
For Philip Mitlov, though, how planes are constructed is not the point.
The point is, no matter what way you cut it, planes don't fly, planes can't fly.
Yes.
At best, they hurtle, briefly, but mostly they fall, if I can demonstrate.
Yes, but that is a paper plane with no engines. I mean, surely...
It's entirely irrelevant. What's more, planes, and it's eminently provable, these which stand a big chance of hitting birds, are not designed to withstand any sort of force whatsoever. See?
But some have attempted to publicly discredit Mitlov. One is Robin Tuckwell, Professor of Aerodynamics at Queensland's Isisford University and author of the book Mitlov is a Dangerous Fool.
Pathetic paper planes like Mitlov's are no way to demonstrate aerodynamic theory. You've got to take into consideration the aerodynamic proportions, the lift, the thrust, the dimensions of modern aircraft, the factors that make flight possible.
In Sydney today, 200 paper people perished when a paper 747 crashed during a flying demonstration. Relatives of the victims are now being informed.
Shit.
No, don't do that. Don't... Frame up, get in, close. Okay, and do it.
Damn, blank paper.
More of the impressive and award-winning documentary, The Icarus Legacy, later. But for now, come with me for a very important interview. Have to do something about this set, I think. Well, with me this afternoon, as you see, is Gareth Powell, travel correspondent for the Sydney Morning Herald. Gareth, thank you for joining us here on The Money or the Gun.
What a lovely place to be.
Well, it certainly is. Gareth, travel correspondent, you've done a lot of flying in your time.
Sure, immensely, yeah.
Dreadful flying stories, you must have a few.
A couple of weeks ago, I'm in Dom Wang Airport in Bangkok, and
I love you when you name drop.
That's tremendous. Content dropper. So I'm standing here in the airport, and I'm looking down, and what comes in is, they call it, it's a Russian version, it's called the DC-4 scheme, right? This is Airlau, and I wonder, well, perhaps they've improved, and it taxis down here, and I'm looking down right on top of it, and I can see the nearest engine, and the inspection cover is held closed with a safety pin. That's a worry. That's a great worry.
I gather they're not normally held close to safety ones.
Well,
normally...
no, well, aviation strength safety pins are pretty standard.
Oh, well, that's okay. As long
So,
as...
you know, this sort of thing, if you fly a lot, it's much safer, you understand, to fly than to have a bath, statistically. So I never have baths, I just have showers.
Yes, I was going to say something, but, you know, I thought personal hygiene is not the subject for the show.
If you fly, and I do fly a lot, you eventually have to end up in a dramatic situation. Now, in the airline business, they call, for example, there's one called a Bravo whiskey. That means it's a bomb warning, code, so that you're not worried.
How do you know about this?
I'm more worried than you are. I was on a flight going in to Kuala Lumpur, and we had a Bravo whiskey on board, and so everybody's a bit uptight because they thought they had a maniac, apart from another maniac on board the flight. And we come into land, and they have got the whole of the Malaysian army with tanks and guns and swords surrounding the plane. This very nice hostess says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived in Kuala Lumpur Airport. As you know, there has been an incident on board. Please leave all your baggage on the plane and leave by the forward exit. And for your safety and comfort, have your hands on your head."
And did you... How did they announce it to you in the first place? Some poor news?
No, it's actually, pilots have got this very laid-back system they've got from Americans from reading Tom Wolfe. They say, we appear to have a little bit of a problem here. We've got this maniac, you know, and it's very relaxed. You know, the engine's fallen off, and we're going to have to lose a little fuel, and that screaming noise is the co-pilot.
Yes.
One pilot was, you know, you can listen to black box.
Yes.
Well, one pilot was marked, English pilot. This hijacker came in, and you could hear him, but to the pilot. The pilot said, "Actually, old chap, I'm not in charge at the moment. The first pilot, speak to him." And then the most amazing black box I've heard was a South American, in South America, a pilot there. And when a plane gets into a dangerous situation, they sort of ring bells and flashlights, and then they shake, literally, mechanically shake, it's called the shaky stick, to wake him up, you see? Now, if that's not happening, then this loudspeaker comes on, and you can hear this loudspeaker coming on and saying, "You are stalling, you are stalling, you are stalling, pull up." And then you hear the pilot say, "Shut up, gringo!" Then bang, the plane goes in.
Oh, dear, that's very comforting.
It is, yes.
You've been everywhere, just about.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. We'll play for the car tonight. I think we're playing for the car.
Right.
Let's get one horror story from each area. We've had Asia. What about Africa?
There was, sadly true, airline incident. It doesn't nasty dramatic, but this plane takes off and there are two pilots in the front. There's a chap who's concerned with the nation airline Cathay Pacific, which happens to be an airline I was connected with. Now, the co-pilot wants to know about what the chances for a job in Hong Kong, which has got to be better than flying in Africa. So the co-pilot comes back and sits with this chap and says, jump. And the pilot thinks, well, I'm not going to let him get away with it. So the pilot, leaving it on automatic, he comes back and says, "No, really, and in Hong Kong you could have..." And then they said, "Well, look, we've just got to go back and put the plane down into Mombasa." And that's when they found out the anti-hijack door to the cockpit had closed. And so we sat there and watched the pilot and the first pilot with fire axes chopping their way in the cockpit. It does not inspire confidence.
The automatic pilot was drunk by that time.
No, but a little worried.
Are they safe, really, automatic pilots?
Yes. They're talking about flying planes with computers. You know what computers do? Your bank accounts. Imagine they do it to you, and they're going to do it to a plane with you in it. I don't want to fly with a plane that's... I like to have a real pilot.
What about pilots themselves? Do you think they're really equipped to handle the stress of their job?
I think that Australian pilots are the best pilots in the world, full stop. The reason why Qantas has a tremendous safety record, and incidentally it has, the Rainman, the film is correct, is because the pilots, there's a culture in Qantas which is a little boring. The pilots are very boring, very pernickety, very read this, check, and that's why they don't have accidents. Now, I think that I would always like to fly on a plane with that sort of pilot in charge.
Are you actually frightened of flying?
Yep. And I was so frightened, I didn't know why I was frightened, so I went and learned to fly. Now I know why I'm frightened. I mean,
I want to know why you know.
It's hours of boredom with moments of stark terror every now and again.
Well, when you say moments of stark terror, what's the one?
Getting down.
That's the worst bit?
You look down and there's this little postage stamp and you have to land on it. And you think, this aeroplane is up here because of law of physics which I don't really understand.
Oh, hang on. If there's anyone in the audience who needs to catch the 496 train, will you please go now? Thank you. Thank you, they've heard it. Sorry about that.
You do choose the right places for these things.
Well, it's a big studio. The ABC's got great facilities. And
the rent's fairly low. We get a penny each to come on.
Yes, indeed, a taxpayer's penny once more. Do people have a right to be scared? Should they be scared?
I hope so. Oh, I think so, yes.
Not a democratic right. I mean,
No,
is there a
no.
good reason for them to be
Well,
scared?
yeah, I mean, first of all, it's much safer than being interviewed by you on television.
Yes, because we edit it later.
And, well, looking at the mechanics involved, which are not encouraging. I wouldn't like to fly on an aeroplane run by the crew that's making this particular segment.
No, I wouldn't even like to work with the crew that makes a particular
And it's
segment.
much safer than walking across Parramatta Road. So logically, you shouldn't be frightened. But it's an unusual situation to be in a metal tube up there, flying for a reason which I haven't quite yet ascertained. Here's, your audience has arrived.
Yes. Look, Gareth, thank you very much. You've been tremendous. This is my train, actually. We've got to go to another part of the studio. So, fellas, just here, thank you. Thank you, Gareth Powell.
There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word she can get what she came for. There's a sign on the wall, but she wants to be sure, 'cause you know sometimes words have two meanings. In a tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings, sometimes all about thoughts or misgivings. She's buying a stairway to heaven. There's a feeling I get when I look to the west, and my spirit is crying for me there. In my thoughts I have seen rings of smoke through the trees, and the voices of those who stand If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alarmed now. It's just a screaming for the May Queen. Yes, there are two paths you can go by the long run. There's still time to change the road you're on. Your heart is humming and it won't go. In case you don't know, the pipe is calling, it is your heat. Dear lady, can you hear the wind blow? And did you know your stairway lies on the whispering wind? And let's be mindful by the road. Our shadows taller than our souls. There walks a lady we all know, who shines white light and wants to show how everything's just to go.
It's very hard
The two come to at
when
last,
all one is all.
to be right and not to She's buying a stairway to heaven.
Robin Dunn there with Stairway to Heaven.